Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to a Smash analysis, but this time on the stage being the Cloud Sea of Alrest, whatever, however you pronounce it. And I decided that I've been wanting to make a video on this stage, considering that, I mean, it's not too far off of potentially being legal. At the same time, obviously, it was immediately banned, because people, I mean, I feel like we should give stages a chance, why not? And so overall, if you were to look at the stage, right off the bat, we can already see some problems. There's a mini slant here because of Gramps' head. I don't know if this is a flat surface, but considering that Sephiroth was standing on nothing, I'm assuming it's a flat surface. And then you have this slant over here. So you have two slants, a mini one, and, well, this slant, this big slant. You also have this platform up here, and of course, if you were to look at the stage, well, you can go under and whatnot. The blast zone in the bottom is not that big. I mean, if I just, it's like it's a very small blast zone going on here. Like if I, I can just barely make it with Sephiroth. So when it comes to the stage itself, it's like, it's got some problems. If you try to up B on his horn though, you will get put onto, you will slide onto what's essentially his ledge. So that's at least nice, at the very least. So let's say you try going under him. You can, though some might say, well, you just do this. You can't really go too deep under him though, because even though you could get some hits here and there, depending on your character, you might not make it back at all. So just be wary of that. And of course, once you're in the actual clouds itself, you are covered in a very dark silhouette. So you can actually see where your body, like where your character is. So I wouldn't say like this is like, oh, it's hard to see your character, because I would say it's not really that hard to see your character here. I feel like this is definitely a stage that, it's one of those things where it's like, because of how it's organized, we don't really seem to have, like, how do I put it this way? Like, because of these minor slants, because there's like this one platform here, we just immediately ban it. But I feel like we banned stages too quickly without actually like testing them and giving them a shot in tournaments to see how they would play out, because there are a lot of banned stages that I would say don't need to be banned, like Unova, for instance, right? The two platform stage is pretty big, but it's not like that big, right? Or say for instance people want to ban Northern Cave because of how distracting it can be, but like I have people who deal with ADHD and people with color blindness, and they say they have no issue on that stage. So I think the reality, the only part where it's kind of distracting is like for those 5 split seconds where the meteor is like basically right on the screen. But here's the thing about that, in my personal opinion, is that with that stage in particular, it's really just a matter of getting used to. I mean, I would argue Smash 4 Final Destination was worse than Northern Cave, and we still played on that stage, right? But this isn't Smash 4 Final Destination or Northern Cave. It's Gramps. All right, so obviously, as you can tell, I have the stage set on hazardless, because with hazards, Gramps tends to move his head a bunch, which can mess around with the stage. And so I don't think that version would ever be legal, because obviously you're just dealing with Gramps' head moving. Then again, Rivals has stages that move and that are legal, but hey, I don't make the rules of this game, right? I'm not a TO, therefore I can't give my opinion, but my opinion on this stage ain't that bad. Interesting, Sephiroth. There was clearly nothing you're hanging on to. But I mean, I guess some would argue that because this platform here, it could be seen as like a temporary advantage for like one player, right? Because like obviously, as you saw in the beginning, Pyro's here and I was like around here. That's because that's basically where the spawning points are, like the spawn points are. But you know, you both sort of have the high ground, and from playing on the stage a little bit with like CPUs and players, I felt like it wasn't that bad to play on. The only bad part about having slants like these is projectiles going like that. So for instance, Pyra here, her blazing end could easily go over Gramps' head, but something like Sephiroth's flare will basically stop on these slants. Like, if the slants were sort of like Yoshi's, where it goes down instead of up, I could see it being, like, considered instead of just being outright banned, but because the slant here is kind of just going upward, it's obviously not really that great for a lot of people. In terms of like the stage background itself, I wouldn't say it's distracting at all. I mean, it's just a slow moving character in the background, you know what I mean? Like, the most you're gonna get distracted by whoever shows up in the background here. Where's the frog? But anyway, so I mean, not the frog, the turtle. I'm so stupid. I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 anyways, but I've seen the memes. All right, give me a break. All right, another thing that people seem to have an issue with is this part where it's hard to see where you are. But here's the thing: if you're low enough where you can still recover, like say Sephiroth's uncharged side uppy, then you can still, if you can still make it back, then the magnifying glass will already tell you where they are. And the silhouette here is pretty powerful enough that you can see where you're at pretty well, right? It's not, and besides, the name tags literally show you where you are, so it's not like you're actually hiding in here. And at most, the only characters that can really take advantage of something like this are characters with multiple jumps or high mobility recoveries, right? But at that point, it's like a lot of those high mobility recoveries tend to not have hitboxes, so there's nothing much to worry about. And characters who can jump multiple times will eventually have to make it back onto the stage, so it's not really an issue there either, right? I guess the only thing that personally annoys me is Gramps here. He talks forever. He talks about like every little thing. Yeah. I mean, even I do find it funny he has lines specifically for Pyra and Mithra. But he didn't say it there. But basically, I mean, I would say the stage is kind of worth giving a chance, at least in a tournament or two. I kind of feel like I said, that we, like, sometimes it makes sense why we ban stages quickly, right? Like the ARM stage, for instance. Spring Stadium had those ceilings on the top, which means that, you know, people could just bounce off of it, attack up there, you know. Obviously, you couldn't go above the ceiling, but still having a ceiling there at all was still kind of annoying. And when it came to the Minecraft stage, the stage was, yeah, I think it was even bigger than Kalos. So, you know, considering that Kalos is already a campy stage as it is, having a stage that's even potentially more campy is kind of obnoxious, and potentially even giving it a real advantage for like Steve, for instance, because Steve is a campy character on top of a stage that can literally give him whatever he wants at any moment. I don't know, like that those two stages, obviously there were good reasons to ban, but with Northern Cave it's really just like people's argument is just distraction. And with this stage, it's mainly just this that I see people complain about, and his neck here, because I don't think having a single platform here, especially one that's so like low to the ground, like I think it's like about battlefield distance from ground to platform. I don't really find it too much of an issue. I don't think this is like going to be a heavily camped platform, especially because it's just one platform. It isn't like, say, Mementos, where Mementos has like a platform here and a platform here, but there's no platform to the right, which means that you could like actually camp top plat, for instance, right? And plus we had stages legal like Duck Hunt in early Smash 4, you know what I mean? And those had platforms that you can hard camp on. You know, this is nothing compared to what we've had in previous games, where it's like you have platforms all the way up here and then you just camp out there, you know what I mean? Like I find it pretty ridiculous to say that this stage is as bad as stages that we've played on in the past. And some may say, oh, but we were forced to play on that stage. Yeah, but you know, people always complain about stage variety, yet we always keep banning stages which give potential stage variety. It's just that people don't want to give these stages a chance. Like I said, with Minecraft World, I understood, because with that stage, it's way too big. Alright? Anything bigger than Kalos, I feel, in terms of length, should be banned, because at that point, it's, you know, like I said, Kalos is already a campy stage. Imagine playing on an even campier stage. It's not going to go too well. And I already mentioned Spring Stadium. But the ones that don't make sense to me are Northern Cave and this one. For this one, maybe my opinions will change. And some may say, well, you're not like a top or high level player, so how can you give your opinion on things? But to me, that's like the equivalent of saying, how can you give your opinion on a character, or yeah, how can you give your opinion on a character on a tier list when you have no idea how the character plays, play the character yourself, main the character, or anything like that, right? Like, how can you give your opinion on a character that you literally know nothing about, right? Like, Lucas and Marth mains complain all the time about their characters being heavily underrated. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, obviously, I'm not like a top player or anything, but I'm just wanting to give my opinions out there. And my opinion is this stage should be given a chance, at least for a little bit, you know, because I'm gonna be real, online tournaments, they really don't matter. I think the best thing about online tournaments is that you can use them to essentially practice, or not practice, but see if a stage can work or not, right? I think to say that because this stage has like a very, I mean, like, this isn't even like the worst slant ever, right? Woohoo Island has a terrible slant, not like this one. This one's like, it's okay, all right? And the one platform isn't like I said, it isn't like a platform that you're gonna be camping on because of how short it is, right? So from my own personal perspective, I think this stage is fine. Obviously, you can let me know down in the comments below what you think, but yeah, those are my thoughts and my opinions. I'm definitely going to be testing out this stage more and more. You know, I've only been recently testing out this stage. I've been meaning to make a video on this like a little bit ago, but I haven't gotten around to doing it until now. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year, and peace.